Camisa from Dallas.
With Sportsnet's John Shannon. John, we waited for a big trade at the draft in Dallas, and when it came, it was pretty significant. 5-player deal in total. The centerpiece, Calgary sending Dougie Hamilton to Carolina for Elias Lindholm and Noah Hanifin. Are you surprised that Hamilton was dealt?
I don't think we should be surprised. The one thing I can tell you is that when Brad Treliving was taking calls all week long, Dougie Hamilton's name was in the conversation most of the time. The other thing I think you have to realize is that without a pick in the first, second, or third round, the Calgary Flames felt they had to do something to improve their position. And when you consider that Noah Hanifin, who was a high pick for Carolina not that long ago, is now coming back to rejoin Bill Peters, who was his coach with Carolina, I think there's something to be said that Bill Peters had a lot to do with this trade as well. The key issue there is, though, that both Lindholm and Hanifin need new contracts. There was no movement. There was very little negotiation with new ownership in Carolina. And so with the fact that Hamilton now being on the move, it'll be much easier for the Flames to do a deal to extend both of these guys.
Before we move on, John, you don't think Carolina's done, do you?
I don't. I don't think Carolina's done today. I don't think Carolina's done for the week. I think that there's going to be a lot more bodies on the move out of Raleigh as this team with Thomas Dundon, Don Waddell, Rod Brind'Amour tries to get to the playoffs for the first time in 9 years.
Now, before a draft pick was made on Saturday, the most significant headline coming out of L.A., the Kings agreeing to a 3-year deal with Ilya Kovalchuk. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you hit the key point there, Faisal. 3 years. He was going to get $6 million or a little more. But very few teams were prepared to go to 3 years. Term, when you have a guy 35 years old, he hasn't played in this league for a while, that was an important thing. Don't be surprised if we see Ilya Kovalchuk on the wing with Anze Kopitar. This is a team that scored 3 goals in a playoff series against Vegas. The one thing Kovalchuk can do is score goals.
Finally, we know John Tavares set to meet with 5 teams when the interview period starts. Your thoughts on the situation there?
Well, I still give the front-running position to the New York Islanders. I think that they're the one team that can actually finish the deal before July the 1st, and I wouldn't rule that out. But yes, John Tavares will talk to 5 teams. The Maple Leafs and Tampa are probably high on that list. It's one of those things where John Tavares has earned the right to talk to teams. But in the end, I am not surprised if he's back wearing the blue and orange and white of the New York Islanders.
So while they can talk to players starting Sunday, nothing can be agreed upon officially until July 1st.
All right, thanks.